Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy. I blog at Health Beat, where I talk about how to lose weight, how I lost weight, all the delicious recipes and food ideas, meal ideas you can eat while you lose weight, and all of the above. So if you are looking for delicious food that'll keep you on your weight loss journey, please subscribe to this channel. Today, I'm just gonna let you walk with me through a whole day of eating. My plan is to follow one of these days on this very first book I made. It's a 1,200 calorie meal plan. I actually made it as an ebook, and that's where I prefer to sell it, but I did print some copies for Amazon. It's really expensive to print though, so I do sell them over there, but for the biggest bang for your buck, just get the digital copy. But of course, I have a printed copy. I'm gonna follow day 27, which is 1,200 calories, and I really need more than 1,200 calories to maintain my weight loss, but I do some 1,200 calorie days because I know I have other days that are way over 1,500 calories, such is the case with weekends. So it's Friday, I'm gonna stick to 1,200 calories. I'm gonna bump up the protein just a little bit. This day has 120 grams of protein. My target is more like 140 right now. So I'll have a little extra protein and I'll show you how I do that soon. Otherwise, I'm just gonna follow it as it is. So let's start with breakfast, my favorite meal of the day. So for breakfast, we are having egg whites, toast, avocado, and a banana. So let's talk about my toast for a minute. I'm gonna use Dave's Killer Bread thin sliced today for 70 calories. Normally, and let me walk with you over here. Normally, let's just say lately, I have been enjoying the Sara Lee 45 calorie bread, which is delightful. Then I eat 2 slices. Let's see, do I get 2 slices? 1. So, so I could eat 2 slices of that or 1 slice of the Dave's Killer Bread. A few other things about my bread is I keep it in the freezer. 1, because it stops other people in the house from eating it. But second, it also stops me from eating it. If it's in the pantry and it's soft and it's squishy and it's ready to eat, I tend to go back to the pantry throughout the day and eat it. But if I keep it in the freezer, then I can get it out for a sandwich in the afternoon or toast in the morning, and it lasts me a lot longer. The other bread I like besides Dave's Killer Bread, the Sara Lee 45 calorie bread, it's called Harper's Homemade Bran Bread, and it's 80 calories. That's really squishy and really delicious, but they did have that one today at the store. They did not have the Sara Lee today at the store, so that's why I came home with the Ezekiel bread, or not Ezekiel, Tom's, I already forgot what it is. Dave's Killer Bread. But it's all good because I love it, and it happens to be what I put in the 1,200 calorie book anyway. So that's my toast, and then I'll move over to make my egg whites. One thing about breakfast egg whites, my sister asked me, how can I increase the protein in my breakfast? And I'm like, just have a lot of egg whites, because she wanted to increase the protein in her breakfast without increasing the calories. This is the #1 way. For only 25 calories, you get 5 grams of protein. So that's why I always, 99% of the last 3.5 years, I'll cook up a whole cup. Fun fact, you can drink this. This is pasteurized, and it right on the box, it says pour it raw into a fruit smoothie, but I don't drink it. But I will scramble or just cook up a whole cup of egg whites for breakfast every day, starting the day with 20 grams of protein. I'm gonna put an extra quarter cup, so I'm gonna actually make a cup and a quarter because like I said, I'm just slightly increasing the protein today, so that'll be 1 cup plus a quarter for 25 grams of protein. And there's actually protein in the Dave's Killer Bread too. I'll check how much that is in a minute. I have to use a separate pan from my husband. This is his pan for cooking in the morning, and he cooks the same thing every day. He makes himself, potatoes, like 2 potatoes, jalapenos, and cheese. The jalapenos, you can, like, it comes onto my food if I use his pan, and I cannot handle hot, spicy flavors. So we keep that separate. So my toast is done. I'm gonna add avocado to it. There's my dog. And this is 30 grams of avocado, which is typical of what I like for eating avocados. It's just like a nice little amount to have a little bit of fat, but not too many calories for the day. So I will tear my, I will power on, move it to grams and tear it out so it's 0, and that's 20 grams. 30 grams is kind of more avocado than you would think. 25, 30, perfect. Well, it said 31, but good enough. So I'm gonna put a little seasoning on the toast and then a little salt. I love coarse ground salt. I just think it makes everything taste amazing. Get my eggs out. And then last but not least, a banana. A lot of people, even though I can have really low carb days, I always have a banana and toast. It just is right around my workout. I feel like it's important, and I don't hate carbs, but the rest of my day I can keep pretty low. And people who see my meal plans will like to argue, that's not low carb, you have a banana. But really low carb is, I can't remember how people would define it, but lower than say 30 to 25% of your total calories. So I think that's pretty low. Anyway, here is breakfast. And the totals on that is 350 calories, because in the book it's 328, but I added 25 calories for the eggs. Then 30 grams of protein, because like I said, the toast has a little protein and the avocado. And then 43 grams carbs, 5 grams fat. So I'll be back for lunch. And then breakfast just ended, but the second thing I'm gonna do is, I know I'm out of chicken, so I just have some chicken tenderloins, and I added some water with sugar and salt dissolved into it for a brine. And I'm only gonna keep this in the fridge for a couple hours, and I'll use these chicken tenders for lunch today. And it'll be so moist, because that's what brining does for you. I learned it in my cooking class, and I will never go back to cooking chicken breasts without brining it first. It's a game changer, people. Game changer. All right, guys, I'm back for lunch. For lunch, it's gonna be super simple. And honestly, most of the time I don't need or want a recipe at all. It's just the basics. It's just a protein, it's just some veggies, maybe some fruit. So today it's just gonna be chicken tenders, some chopped up vegetables over a salad, and some peaches. But for the chicken tenders, they've been brining for a few hours. So the fastest way I'm gonna cook these is just on a skillet and fry them up. Because I use sugar in this brine, it kind of caramelizes it and it makes it really perfect to me. So just watch me for a minute. I'll get my chicken ready and then I'll chop the vegetables and I'll have a piece of fruit to go with it. Okay, on the meal plan, in the meal plan book, I have that we want 5 ounces of chicken. But remember I said I'm gonna bump up 5 ounces raw. I usually put it in, when I make a meal plan, I make it as raw because that's gonna be the most accurate. But when you cook it, you lose a good ounce, at least I do. So I'm gonna bump it up to 6 ounces raw though, because I said had a goal to get a little bit extra protein. So 6 ounces raw will probably cook down to 5 ounces cooked. That's that's almost 6 right here. So it's not much. It's just 3 little chicken tenders. So that's 6 ounces. That should give me a little more than 25 grams of protein. And I wait to cook the chicken till my pan is hot because then you can get that searing on it. And I have another YouTube video where I talk about brining. And then I have another video where I do meal prep. And so both of those I talk about how I cook my chicken. But basically, sometimes I do it in the skillet, sometimes I do it in the oven. If I'm about to eat and I only have like 5 minutes, I'll do it in the skillet. It doesn't take longer than 5 minutes. So I feel like it's hot now. Not as hot as it should be because I like to hear it sizzle and sear. So I'll just give it another minute. And the other trick to doing delicious chicken on a skillet is to not crowd your chicken because it kind of gets so wet that it doesn't ever give you that crispy searing on the edges if you have too much chicken in your pan, too crowded. So this is about perfect. So I'll just cook it on both sides until I can cut through and see that it's no longer pink in the middle. And I'll get my veggies ready now while it's cooking. Okay, and the final touch is some dressing for my salad. I have in my book Bolthouse salad dressing, 45 calories. I love it, but I was trying a new one, the Skinny Girl, and it's less, so I'm gonna grab that. Yeah, so the Skinny Girl Buttermilk Ranch is only 10 calories for 2 tablespoons. And it's actually really good. So I could go either way. This is a lot thinner than the Bolthouse. The Bolthouse is pretty thick, but I'm not picky. So here is delicious lunch number 2. Okay, it's about 3 o'clock. I'm having a protein snack, which is usually like dessert, but I have in the book just a cup of peaches, but I'm gonna use frozen peaches to make it more like a milkshake. My new favorite vanilla protein powder, and if you've followed me for a long time, this has evolved. This is the very first protein powder I used to recommend is Optimum Nutrition Whey, which I still like. Then the second one I was promoting for a long time was Clean Simple Eats, which I still like for shakes, but this one has my heart right now because It's really tasty, and it's a casein and whey blend so that you have a more steady release of protein during the day, because casein and whey absorb at different rates. So I'm just using this little mini blender, filled up 8 ounces of the unsweetened almond milk, which is great for only 30 calories. A scoop of the protein powder, 120 calories, which is typical for a protein powder that's mostly protein, and 5 grams of carbs. And then the peaches. Peaches are actually just about in season, but we love just to eat fresh peach. I don't know that I'd bother blending it when I can get frozen, but either one works. Both are all amazing. Okay, here it goes. Okay, the other hack, well, it's not a hack, but the other thing I like to do with protein drinks is to make sure I have a really thick straw. It's so much better through a thick straw. I don't know what it is, but this is delightful. Okay, it is finally dinner time. I do eat early. It's just after 4 here. I'll eat by 5 o'clock, and that's because I go to bed early. It's just my schedule. But this meal is what I call stroganoff, but it's really just like a super simple, cheap version of stroganoff. So all I do, I have a few different like low to no calorie noodles that I use or try depending on what's at the grocery store. Right now I'm going between the Miracle Noodle, 5 calories, you guys, 5 calories. This one is Palmini, Hearts of Palm Linguine. This one's 20 calories. And then the first one I started liking when I first started this journey was Leviva. So I was looking for this. I haven't seen this brand in like 2 years. I felt like maybe a year and a half. But somebody had mentioned to check a different aisle. So instead of looking at the pasta aisle, I decided to check different aisles. And I found it in the specialty gluten-free foods. You know how they have like this specialty area for those? Anyway, that's where it was. So these are the 3 I like. My number 1 choice for low-calorie noodles, though, is the Healthy Noodle that they sell at Costco, and that is the name of the brand, Healthy Noodle. But I haven't seen that one in like a year either. So I don't know what they're doing with that. So I'm just cooking ground turkey, and then I'm gonna cook some mushrooms and then mix the noodles into it and some light sour cream. Super simple. And the second half of this meal is just asparagus. And I actually usually cook it in the microwave for 1 minute, 1 bunch of asparagus just wrapped in a towel. So it's super fast. Thanks guys for going through my day with me. Dinner is ready and it looks delicious. It smells delicious. I'm excited to eat it. I just wanted to end today with a quick discussion about those cravings you get like 30 minutes after you've eaten a meal, when you know you've had enough food, but yet you just want to come back to the kitchen and have one more little snack. And I have this post that I wrote a couple years ago maybe last year, and it was about how there are studies that show when you give into your cravings, then that pattern of behavior gets stronger. You'll give into them more often, it'll be easier every time. But when you resist your cravings or you practice discipline, that's what gets stronger. So whatever you're doing is what's getting stronger. If every time you think 30 minutes after your meal, oh, I just need to go back for one more little snack, you're gonna keep doing it. But if you stop yourself and say, nope, not today, I'm gonna practice a little discipline today, then that gets stronger and that gets easier. So that's the challenge, because it's hard after a meal to just walk away. Sometimes you just want to come back to the kitchen for a minute. I get it. But if you practice staying away, resisting, and having a little discipline, those habits and that ability will get stronger. So that's all I've got for you today. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're eating. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you next time.